again, sorry I'm a little late. Who has logged in and looked at the program? Okay, not bad. For those of you that have logged in and looked at the program, any super negative comments or super positive comments, or just any comments in general? I mean, any problems or difficulties? No. Okay, well, that's a good start. What I'd like to do, first I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of just what the program is and what it does and what it's designed to do. You have to excuse me, I'm recovering from some bronchitis. And then we're going to get in and start looking at the program, doing some things with it and digging into it so that you know what you have and what it will do for you. So firstly, let's see. Do we have an extra one of those somebody can give me back?
You can have mine.
I've used mine before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I've worked with this before.
Okay. Okay. What I want to start with is just page 1, where it says one tool, everything real estate. And I've already had somebody in the company tell me we ought to change it from one tool, everything real estate, because they say it's not everything. We have all sales, all foreclosures, all notices of default, all bank REO transactions, all mortgages associated with the transactions, single-family building permits, and maps. I think I'll probably come across something else. But he said, well, there's probably at least, something we don't have. So I said, okay, I'm not going to change it because nobody else does, right? BMW is the ultimate driving machine, even though somebody might disagree. So you've got close to everything you're going to need that's outside of MLS, okay? So to get into the program, you go on our website. You don't have to start our website. Once you log in the first time, and I guess some of you all have done this, you can just kind of set up an icon on your screen and just click on it and get right into it. You don't always have to go to our website to start. If you don't know how to do that, just call the 800 number after tech support. I'll show you how to do it real quick. And I'll answer any other questions you might have while you're at it. This is where you log in. And my password is AJM for my initials. I tell people, it's interesting, I see people putting in passwords that are like 12 digits long with all these caps and everything. It's like, there's no money in it. If there isn't any money in it, you can keep it pretty short and sweet. Okay, and here we are. Now, the purpose of this program, one of the main reasons we created this program, is because our previous programs, Rears and Peers, which have been around for 20-something years, we were getting a lot of complaints about the programs not being user-friendly, being hard to just find what you need, a little tedious, et cetera, et cetera. And that was all true because the program started out simple, and then over 20 years, people kept saying, well, can you put this in it? Can you put this in it? Can you make it do this? Can I do this? And we just kept adding to it. And eventually, we got to a place where it was a little overwhelming for most folks. So we decided to come up with something very simple. What we have is very simple. It's very intuitive. If you just get in it and start using it, the odds are you're going to be able to do what you want to do and get what you want to get, okay? But then we had some people who said, well, I used to like having 1,000 different ways to search and being able to dig and dig and dig and do all sorts of stuff. So we actually designed it where you can set it up 2 ways. You can have it to where when you go into any one of these options, you're gonna get what I call short and sweet. Let's see. You'll see what I'm talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So we're doing comparable sales. And what we tried to do was set this up so that you could get the comparable sales you want with very, very, very few keystrokes. So, what's the subdivision that
Cypress Park,
y'all do? Cypress
Cypress Park.
Park. Okay. So, if you want comps for the last, what, several months?
That's a Scandi, that's what.
Oh, I'm in the wrong camp.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. That's a default. And we're going to get to that. I think y'all only have 2 counties, right? Baldwin and Mobile. You'll be able to
we
set
have
it-
Baldwin and Escambia.
That's Scandi.
Oh, Baldwin and Escambia.
Yeah, we do have Escambia. We have what 5 or 6 Florida agents in here, so.
Okay. So you'll be able to set it up to open on the county you want it to open on, the one you open up, work in most. So let me back up and change it. You'll see that I have all the counties.
And what if it doesn't come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just have one?
So I got one.
You did something wrong, I would
I just
think.
clicked where you clicked, comparable sales activity,
That's exactly what I did.
and I get one. I don't get
Select
anything.
county.
Click here,
Then you have to populate it to get the rest, or?
then pick which county you want.
But he did comparable sales activity.
Okay, gotcha.
You gotta
Gotcha.
go 1, you gotta start with 1.
Okay, where?
Oh,
Scroll up,
okay, this was already filled in, I guess.
there you go.
Okay.
Now,
So, again, keeping it simple. We want comps. How many months do we want to go back? 1, 3, 6, or a year. You just click it. So you don't have to enter anything.
unless you want.
If none of these fit your need, then you see underneath, we let you type in a beginning date and an ending date, okay? But most people are just gonna click one of the radio buttons and be happy with it. Notice also, we tell you what date the data is through. So you have comparable sales through November 1st, 2013. What are we today, 21st, 22nd? So we're about 3 weeks behind. Normally, we're about 2 weeks behind. So that's what you should expect. If you go into the program and we're more than 3 weeks behind, might be a good idea to call or email somebody or just check whatever, because that keeps people on their toes and the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You notice how many counties we're entering data for. We enter that data. So there's a tremendous amount of effort that goes into that. Okay, so I'm going to do it real quick and easy like you would do. I'm just going to say 3 months. Now notice property type. I can just say single family, or I can say vacant res. Homes, lots, right? What will I get if I say Cypress Point 3 months and I don't give it a property type? What will it find?
Everything.
Everything. Yeah. If there's a little church in there, if there's a convenience store, anything. It'll pull it all up, okay? So you may even skip that and just say, I want to see whatever's there, because you can always take it out, delete it. Okay. So we come here to subdivision, and this is one of the few places where you do have to kind of be careful, slow down, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Type in Cypress.
It'll bring up options for
Yeah, and I've actually seen one person that's like, 220 character a minute typist, and they go, and it's really too fast. The program kind of, took a little while to catch up. So do it like most people. C, Y, P, and all you gotta do is type 3 letters. And when you type 3 letters, you see what it's doing. It's bringing up the subdivisions that start with those 3 letters. And then is Cypress Point,
you. Cypress Park of Gulf Shores.
Cypress
About halfway down.
Park of Gulf Shores. I got you. Okay. Now, notice when I clicked on it, the screen did a little flash and put it over here. If you enter it in and don't highlight it, or I don't know what you might do to do it wrong. People find a way to do it wrong, okay? But make sure that it winds up over here. Because if you see it in the box, maybe that's what you can do. You can highlight it, maybe it shows you it in the box. But if you see it in the box and say, aha, do the search, it will not work. It needs to leave the box and come over here, okay? Now, the reason it's doing that, there's a reason why it's set up that way, and that is because you can go in and select all the subdivisions you want, okay? So if there's an area and you want to search 3 or 4 or 5, you can go in and do this 4 or 5 times, and it'll put each one out here, and then when you do your search, it'll search all those subdivisions at one time. Now, when I say it'll let you do all you want, there is some sort of limit. But I'm thinking y'all are probably not going to try to do 200 different subdivisions at one time. You're probably going to give up and go to zip code or something else. So it does work that way, and if you don't have it in a box, you won't get anything. Next, zip code. Parcel zip code, obviously. The zip code of the property, not the zip code of the owner, right? Put in a zip code, it will find every comparable sale in that zip code for 3 months. Now, I'm going to make it easy, because I try to make everything easy. And I'm going to do single family. So now, if we tell it to search, we are going to get every single family home that's sold in Cypress Park of Gulf Shores for the period of 3 months that it's showing. Notice, it says it's searching through November 21st, right? But we only have data through November what? 1st. Okay. So be aware of that. Okay. The program's kind of dumb in one way, is that it's got to take what you tell it, but
It's not
you might actually want to, you might look at that and say, oh, let me go back to 6, or, put in my starting date. And of course, if you put in your starting date, you don't have to put in the ending date. It's just going to go and get whatever's out there, okay? Real estate MLS zone, I'd suggest you don't use it. Most of the MLSs aren't using them anymore. You know what I'm talking about, even the, zone 1, area 3, and those kind of things. They change. They're hard for us to keep up with. We've tried it for years, but what we've done is given you enough capability where you should be able to not need it. And then select area for map. This is really powerful. I'm going to show you that in a minute, not right now, and then you notice you can do a price range. So basically within 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, most of this just clicking without having to type anything, you can really grab whatever type of properties you want very, very easily. And this is what we're getting a lot of very, very good response from, okay? Now, I'll just do it real quick. Notice you got search here and search here. And somebody asked me yesterday, why do we have it in both places? And, did it matter which one you use? And at first, I just thought the programmer decided to put one at the top so and one at the bottom so you could do whichever one you wanted. But then I thought, it's for tablets. This program runs on any iPad or Samsung or Kindle, any device, okay? And tablets change the screen. So if you're using on a tablet, usually you don't see both of them. You'll either see the one at the top or the one at the bottom. And then you can just touch it with your little finger and make it search. So there was a reason why they did that.
And this will run on Droids and everything?
It will actually run on any mobile device, which means any iPhone or smartphone, Android, any type of system. But I will tell you that, I think, I would only use it on a phone as, last resort. Because you're dealing with that little screen and it has to be, limited in what it can do. Now, if you're somewhere and there's a house and you just have to know who owns it or have to know what it's sold for or something, pull it up and, you can expand your little screen and work your way around. I've done it, but I'm saying it's tedious. But it does work. It'll work on any mobile device. So let's see, did I do the search?
No.
Keep talking. Not paying attention. Okay. That looks weird. Very strange.
Mine looks better than yours does.
Well, I hope so.
It's shrunk. It's condensed to fit your resolution, I think.
Yeah. I don't know how to
Ours looks a lot
change
better
it.
than that.
Yeah.
Here, this is what it should be.
Okay. And we're
The resolution.
Drew,
I went to a different.
we got a
television.
technical problem.
If you go to display settings, you can,
You gotta change
you
the
go to
screen
display
setting on the
settings
TV.
and the control
No, it's
panel.
East Orange Beach.
Do you know how to? Drew's gonna rescue me.
Do it on the resolution or just the?
Well,
Yeah, because it's not giving all the information and shit.
That's the highest.
Cindy,
Thought you trouble.
what was his password to get in,
To get in where?
to get into this? I just,
His password.
Oh, I don't know what his is. I put mine in, so I don't know.
We don't have.
each,
Yeah, you got one too.
Everyone
You
should
emailed
have
them
one.
to us
Is
last
that
week.
it, the 315? I put that in right in the book. Okay. Okay.
No, you should start out with an 0488
88.
dash something.
Something.
It's in an email that
LTY.
Drew sent to us last week.
It's not bad enough.
What about password? You have to assign a password or
No, you create your own.
something good?
Or you might be able to take the TV remote and just click on channel and,
Full screen.
or go to full screen, yeah.
oh,
We're showing everything that's on the screen.
no,
No,
what
it's
it's done
not.
is it's condensed it.
It doesn't have the, well, there it does.
It squished it in.
Yeah, I haven't come
You just
across
have
this,
to-
so I really don't know.
Because theirs looks
what-
different, Drew.
Well, it's probably because we're using Internet Explorer.
No,
Seriously, you're looking at it in
Oh,
Chrome.
TV setting.
no,
I'm on IE.
that's not the,
These two have my
I'm
email.
on IE.
I think the screen,
It's the TV
Yeah,
setting.
Yeah,
the
the
TV
TV
It's not the
setting.
computer, it's the TV setting.
Where's the remote? Tell it to full screen.
is there a way
You gotta
to?
tell your TV to do that, not the computer.
You got it.
Correct. It's like when you're watching.
You got the remote?
See what's in the screen.
Here's what I got. The only thing I use is
Okay, she's got two.
I know, I wanted to know what that was. That, I already been there once. Drew said he's working
Oh, she
on
does
it.
it.
I mean, that's the only thing I use it for. I print mine in electric, so-
There you go, picture size.
Right.
Hey!
There you go.
Cooking
It's
with
not
gas
enough.
now.
It's cut off the bottom, I think.
That's good.
Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's not gonna change anything on Internet Explorer.
You don't think?
I think so.
Right on, right on.
Still
Now-
messing this stuff up.
Go to the upper right and size the image down a little bit.
Up here?
Just underneath there, those double arrows.
Here?
Yeah, you got it, right there.
You want like that?
Up there.
There you go.
There.
That's about as good as it'll get.
No.
Well, that's not it.
She's ours, just, I don't know how to change
Can't you plug up one of your laptops up to that screen?
That's what it's done.
Oh.
Oh, maybe that.
Okay. It's time for me to go.
Oh, we can't see the screen.
Yeah, I have a display turned off.
Sounds like something I would say.
It's on the laptop still. It's just
He's singing around. Just like first.
maybe an older version of Internet Explorer is older than here.
It shouldn't make a difference.
It's Internet Explorer 7.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey Drew, can you go up with the cursor on that, the drop down that's up there, the results, no, the results section right there?
And
And
we just,
Plug yours in?
yeah,
Let's plug it.
let's boot it up and.
It says 8 or higher.
Sure.
I was thinking
Well,
going
Internet Explorer,
yeah.
Well, that's it.
And then the whole
I
thing.
had 8 or higher, and that's 7. Okay.
Does it need Internet Explorer 8 or higher?
That's what it says
That's what your
here.
information
It
says.
says,
Probably what
Internet
it is.
Explorer 8
And
or
that's what
higher.
it is.
Oh, you do that shit.
it works on Chrome though.
You do that shit.
Right, wasn't it?
I'm gonna do that for you.
Okay, I'll give you my secret.
No.
It's AL.
I used to do Chrome.
It should get those,
I got Chrome at home, but here I, summertime, I need to redo it. It says, my stuff just has to be so rough. But I use Chrome at times. You're not connected.
Please go.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
that has everything on it.
Well, she did, like, she had, I only just got the contract with the lender, she said. I said, look at it, November the 4th.
This keyboard and mouse
This
is
is the
what I
second
do.
time.
It is?
Yeah, I just
I
plug
did.
it.
Oh, you need another
second.
You know?
It doesn't matter which one of these I do.
No, I just hit home. It doesn't matter. You just close it out. Then refresh your screen.
Bill was already logged in. Click the other tab.
There's so many instructors here today.
Okay.
Mm.
Comparable sales. What we did, go to Walmart. Did I do 3 months? I'm gonna do 6. Single family, CYP,
Down at Sportsman. Is it Sportsman?
Park, up Gulf Shore. I think that's all I did.
That's it.
Search.
There you go.
That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, and apparently it was the Internet Explorer 7. You need 8 or higher. I should have known that, but I didn't. Okay, so now you see we found 3 columns. And notice it puts it in a table or grid view, which is what the other program used to do. Let's see, slide along here and see, you know, what's in it. But it's set up, you know, as a default. You can change this. You know, that's why you each have your own login. You can change these columns so that whatever ones you want can be included, and whichever ones you want to take off can be excluded. And you can also change the order in which they appear, which a lot of people, you know, they want certain things right up front, like subdivision, price, parcel address, etc., etc. So let's see. Okay. Since we're using up our time, is it okay if I just show you things like this and not actually go through it? There's your comparable sales grid layout. Notice they're all checked. So you can go through and uncheck what you want, check what you want, and then I'm going to show you.
Column layout.
Yeah.
Column, recent column.
And you see here, you can select them all, clear them all. If you mess it all up, you can just click, go back to the default. And then you click here and it lets you put them all in the order that you want them in. Okay. Now,
Whatever, yeah.
I'll mention it over and over and over. If you're ready to do this and you just don't feel like you're a whiz and can go through it in, 1 or 2 minutes, call tech support. Just call them. It's 800 number. They're there. You won't get a menu. You'll get a person. And I'll show you how to do it. Okay? It would help, though, if you kind of had a little cheat sheet and knew how you wanted it ahead of time, Or maybe even send them an email, and said, this is how I want, will you show me how, et cetera, et cetera. We're real proud of our tech support. They're real people, been working for us years and years, and you'll almost always get a person when you call, and they'll help. Let's see. I wonder if this is going to take, no, I don't want to do this. Well, maybe I didn't. Find out. Is it going to kill me? Oh, it didn't kill me. Okay, good. It was right here, column layout. So that's where you jump. Okay? Now, for any one of these records, you can click on Show Full Report. I think you're really going to like this.
It brings up another window.
Yeah, and this report tells you just about all the information you want about the property. This one apparently has 2 buildings.
Right here. Click on the left. And show full.
The building 1. Over in Baldwin County where it's not going to show them, I'm sorry. In Escambia you'll get footprints, the diagram footprints. What you'll notice, now why are these booking page? Oh, you don't get booking page, you get instrument number. Click, this thing sold September, is that 27, 2013? Yeah, because we just did 6 months, so the current sale. Click on the instrument number. And,
Deeds and record.
you know,
Yeah,
Is
Judge Keller, it's first.
is it going to be this?
Yes.
And all we're doing is putting you in the county website, so you don't have to get out and go find it again. Let's see.
It should be the first one that comes up on.
You can close it up at the top.
What?
That's just a tab. You can close it at the top by clicking on the X over to the right.
This one?
You see we got Delta? Come back to
No,
it.
no,
Other
no.
one.
That one.
That one. Click on that X to the right of that where you have it now.
I got
There you go.
you. Okay, so we come back here. This I really like. This allows you to zoom in and out and get it where you want it for when you print your PDF.
Does not populate that for condos though, right? Just for,
Just the building.
see, I just did a condo search and it has nothing on that map
Okay.
window, so it's just for single family then.
No, it should have found the building. So again, that would be a tech support call. Normally, it'll find the structure for you. Let me go into this a little more. Now this is going to be a house, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all are all familiar with these, man. But darn close, and it's nice to be able to include it, you know, in your PDF that you might be emailing to someone. And this is what I like. These arrows here on the outside, where you can spin it around. Y'all probably know how that works. So you might even print the PDF a couple of times with the different, you know, shots. And I believe these links remain active in the PDF when you send it. So if you're sending it to a title company or a closing attorney or whomever, when they open the PDF, they can also click on the links and have it show them the additional information. Any questions about?
Al,
Yes.
I've got one quick question. Eric was hitting the button to print labels, and I know Randy signed an affidavit or whatever it was, where it still prompts them that there's a quota, but we signed something stating what the address would be used for. It says there's a quota, but there technically isn't a quota, correct?
Well, you've actually got it, it's the other way.
Okay.
In other words, we've told you you don't have a quota, but technically you have a quota, because the way the software is, you've got to put in a number.
Okay.
So what we've done is we put in a really high number, but there's no such thing as unlimited,
Gotcha.
because it creates all types of problems. So, let me tell you a few things that y'all need to know about printing labels, okay? Every time you print labels, like this gentleman went and looked at, you're gonna get a little thing that pops up and it says, hey, you're printing labels and it's gonna go against your quota, okay? And it's designed to make you think before you print the labels. Because in the past, we had people who pulled up 75,000 homes and clicked print and were printing to paper. And they would call us up in a panic and say, you know, what do I do to stop it? I'm gonna get fired or so we've got speed bumps in here, okay? So make sure you're just printing what you really want to print. All you need to do is just back out, you know, and change it. The other thing is, if, say we've given you a quota of 50,000 a month, okay? There is a real number. At some point, you could possibly bump that number. So everybody needs to know that. And it's by month, okay? So if you bump the number, you're probably gonna find yourself right at the very, very end of the month. You follow me? In other words, people have been printing all month long. But it will stop you. So you need to call tech support, because that's in there for us to kind of keep us informed of who you are, what you're doing, and just making sure that it's not a problem with people not doing what they want to do, or, you know, there's all kinds of things that come up. But what we'll do is, if you call and you need to print, we can actually just bump it up while you're still on the phone, okay? And we've done that, okay? And just for you to know, because you all have a unique login, we actually have a history of everything you ever have done or will ever do within the system, okay? So what I'm saying is, if somebody prints the 50,000, don't think nobody's ever gonna know. We're gonna know, because we can look and see who logged in. So I think that's,
Yeah, I just want everybody to know that way.
yeah.
When the first time somebody goes to export, I don't, everybody doesn't pick up the phone and call me or Holly. I'm getting a quota thing. I just want everybody to know
Right.
that there is, but it's.
It's just there to
Yeah.
keep you aware, to make sure you're printing what you want to print. And I think what we do is we look at how many people have access to the system, and we multiply that number by like 3,000 or 4,000, and we assume that if everybody in here prints 3,000 labels a month, you're going to be pretty close to okay. Okay. And obviously we know some people never print, some people print more, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll be okay. Any questions about this report? It's our full report. Notice you've got the sales history here, mortgage history. Don't see any. Maybe these were transactions that were cash sales. Notice Liz Pendon's history. Let's see if one of these other.
When's your mortgage history at some time?
What's that?
Never mind, never mind.
Okay. Yeah, here's the name of the attorney that closed it. This is your structural information, building information, number. Yeah, it's interesting. This one's got 2 buildings. Tells you square footage, et cetera, year built, actual, and affected. They're both 88. This is more detailed information. Tells you it's a hip gable roof and things like that. And then at the very bottom, you get the. That's probably most of the legal down there. Okay.
Why is this
So how
Question?
do you get to the parcel info from the,
I'm gonna back up.
okay?
I'm gonna close it.
not?
Close.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That'll work.
Okay. Remember, we did the search. We did the search. We found 3 sales, and way over here, you click on full report,
Show full.
and that's what brings it up.
Okay.
That's what brings it up. Now, what's it say next to that? Show map?
Yeah.
Okay. See, then all it does is just bring it up on the map. You don't get the whole report. You just get the map. It's a little larger, and you can work the map. Not sure how to get out of that. Let me just click.
Right above it, it says close map window. To the left of that.
Got it?
Well, I
Okay.
have to, I've started over.
Okay. And then the really neat function is this one. And what it does is it shows your comps on the map. So those are the 3 properties that came up in our search.
What'd you get for that one?
Map function. Right along here, all the way at the very end, says map. So you've got to have records here, okay? And when you found records and you click map, it'll pop you over to them, okay? Then you can touch each push pin, and it tells you a little something about each one. What are we giving you? Tax ID, partial address, buyer's name, sale price, and sale date. And then if you click on show detail, it will bring up that full report again. So if you did 20 comps and you want to look at them one at a time, look at the full report, then you can go through that.
Very cool.
Any other questions? Okay.
How many years will the system go back?
Just keeps going.
Oh, that's a really good question. The data we have goes back 20 years.
20 years? Not the same as it used to be, or
Hmm?
is it the same as it used to be, or?
I've never had anybody ask that question. I honestly don't know. How old do we think this subdivision is?
Oh, geez,
It's
60s.
older than that.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's close this, and let's go back to the search. You notice how it leaves it below here for you? And then, what I'll do is get rid of, come on, man, let me get rid of that. Why is it not letting me do it? Let's see. I'm thinking if
Change that to older date, and it may overrun it.
Go to
I wanna,
January 1 of 1970.
well, what I was gonna do is just leave, yeah, let's just see what happened. I don't know why that little radio button won't go away. Ah, there we go. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is not give it a forward
Yeah,
date.
you
just
went
like-
away.
Are you importing them, or are you exporting them, or are you printing?
He collected it, we don't know.
I just want the labels.
Wow.
Oh,
Pull
this
up that wall,
subdivision.
same thing, pull it back.
Subdivision very old.
Once you get the radio button to go away.
Click this,
Hold on, let me,
and it on the
Definitely.
layout for the-
okay, 148
But you don't have to.
transactions.
Think about it.
Can't you hit
Sort
sales
of
data
sales
fair down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owner two, address one, address two, it must just give it all and already converts.
So it goes back to 96.
So how,
You don't have to set it.
That's 37 years.
yeah,
Much easier.
yeah.
That's how far the county goes back, I guess.
No, no, no,
I
no.
don't mean, what they uploaded.
But this is our data. See, we're in comparable sales, so this is data we've entered. And I know we've got it going back 20 years, so again, there's probably a way if you call technical support that they can give you, it's probably the size of the file and how much they want to put on the server and that kind of thing. But my guess is if you needed to go back all the way, they could give you access to that data going back all the way. And the reason I say that is every once in a while we get an appraiser that has to determine the value of a property 20 years ago, and I know we're able to give them access to that data so they can do it. Okay, now let's do this. Now remember, these are sales, and we probably know for sure that some of these homes sold more than once during the period of whatever it is, 7-year, 8-year data. But what I want to do is click map just to show you what it's going to do. Look at that, isn't that pretty? I mean, really, that is pretty cool. What it tells you is just about every house in there has sold, and the good thing is you don't see any push pins outside the subdivision. That's always a great relief for me. And of course, you can go in and check them all out. Now, oh, look, this is interesting too. Notice it says there were 148 records, but there's only 85 push pins. Gold star to whoever can tell me why.
Because it's
Right.
resold.
Resold. It's actually a pin on top of pin. It's actually a pin on top of pin.
Even if the lot sold and then the house sold and whatever, that parcel sold.
That it's going by parcel ID. Yep. Oh, smart group. Okay. So let's see. I'm not sure what show layers does. You can measure. My cursor will change. Should. Let's see. Click starting point. Come over here. And I don't think it did it. Where did it go? Map. Measure. Click start. Click next point. On here, cancel. Okay,
There you go.
there you
You
go.
can drag
So I just clicked,
it.
dragged, clicked again, put a blue line there for me, and it says it's 481.55 feet. Again, it's just a tool, and I would never, assume that the measurement is precise to within, inches or a foot, whatever, but it'll get it real close. Close enough, you know what I mean?
Called get a survey and sometimes.
Okay. We want to get out of this because we got too many records. Should back me up. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna do it a year, and then I'm going to search because I want more than 3. Perfect, 10. Okay. Somebody already cheated and went ahead and started looking at labels, so now we gotta show everybody else, right? Labels. Now, oh, that's the little scary thing. Scared me. Are you sure you want to export labels? This will deduct from your, and it says monthly quota, okay? And since it's my monthly quota and not yours, I'm going to tell it okay. And we had 10 people. I'm just going to tell it to do, let's see, buyer's address. Now this is something y'all need to pay attention to. These are sales, right? These are people who bought homes. I'm assuming you want to mail to the buyer. The buyer may not live in the home, correct?
Correct.
So it's going to mail to the buyer. Now what it does is really neat. Notice it puts them first name first, switches them around, and yeah, you got a Columbia, South Carolina there, right?
So we used to have to schedule what it would set up in that label, and we could move the spacing so it would drop down a little more on the label and so on. We don't have to do that anymore. If there's a multiple address, there's a suite number, or...
You should not.
Okay.
There's a trick though. Some of our folks, or instead of printing label, you'll notice one of your options is print the data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you print the data, you're on your own, Charlie. So we get a lot of problems with that because people export the wrong, they think they're exporting one thing, they're exporting something else, and once it's your data and you're messing with it, then you're messing up, we're not messing up. You understand what I'm saying, okay? So, and that goes back to the program being, the old program, being that that's what everybody, that some people like to do, you know? It's like, okay, I can get the data, I can export, I can set it up, I can do it just the way I want. Well, most people don't want to do that. Most people want this. And the way to do this is, if you're not going to print directly to the labels, the 3 across 10 down Averys, and you want to save this so you can print from it later, print this to a PDF and then print from the PDF to your labels. I don't know the technical reasons, but it has something to do with your browser and it being web-based, and that it can take what's in that PDF and set it up the way it needs to be. We've got one client where it wouldn't work, so if we have time, I'll show you in the front. There actually is a way that if you've got an Avery labels and you print from this and it doesn't put it right where you want it, we've actually created a way where you can tell it to move it down and move it to the side.
Because sometimes it'll be, the name will be at the very top edge of that
It
label.
should not happen with this. Have you
Okay.
already tried it?
No, not yet.
It should not happen with this. But if it does, you can adjust it.
Bump
And
everything down a
again,
line or two.
and again, that will be for you,
Gotcha.
not for anybody else, because it will only be making the change for your login. Okay?
Gotcha.
So that's one set of labels. Now, we pulled owners. We pulled owners, so we're mailing to owners, right? Okay. You can also, no, I said owners.
Buyers.
Buyers. The other scenario is to go into owners. Let's see.
No. Top tab. Top tab. There you go, brother. Now you cooking.
This one?
Yes, sir. Extra out.
All right. Okay. Resident address labels. Now, first of all, don't go into comparable sales to pull the people you want to send resident labels to.
Pull up owners.
You go into owners.
Yeah.
Okay, and I haven't been to that front screen, but remember the first column was sales, the second column was ownership, the third column is notices of default, okay? So you go into the ownership, and what we do is we would say, pull up every single family home owner in this subdivision, and what I would say is, only the homes that are not homestead, okay? Just follow me, not homestead. Because this option says, resident address. Now watch what we're gonna do. Now if they're not homesteaded, then that means the owner isn't in the house, right? Okay.
Now, maybe.
So I'm gonna click it.
Maybe.
See what it does? Now what it's doing is the system has the owner's address. Our system has the owner's address. It's not using the owner address. It's using the parcel address.
The
It's using
actual
the
property
parcel
in the
address.
subdivision you've looked
Right.
at.
It's using the parcel address. Notice, well, look, remember we had South Carolina and we had whatever. Now all we've got is Gulf Shores. Okay. So what it's doing is it's mailing to those homes that are renter occupied in that subdivision. And since we don't know the people's names, we put resident. So if you want to